Good morning. I'm Lisa Parker, Chair of the Jackson County Democratic Party, and this is a really serious morning. Yesterday, as you know, by one vote, they passed Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill. I call it the big bunch of bullshit. So I'm going to take a minute to go through exactly what this bill includes. And I had to write it down, so please forgive me for reading because I usually just go off on a riff, but I'm going to read this. It cuts Medicaid by $625 billion. In Ohio, that is 762,000 children and families, and 148,000 senior citizens, many of whom rely on it for nursing home and skilled care taking. It cuts SNAP benefits, which used to be called food stamps, but it's a Department of Agriculture program in which to ensure families get proper nutrition, by $300 billion. It cuts student aid by $325 billion. Many people who get their higher education, especially those of us who live in poor rural communities, rely on student loans so that we can get the education we need to service our communities. It permits the sale of public lands and resources. Again, that's really going to affect those of us in rural communities who rely on tourism, but who also enjoy our natural resources. When these are stripped, it means the runoff and the damage is done to the people that live in those very same rural areas. Right now, we live in the middle of Wayne National Forest. They sell off the timber. It will be generations before it comes back. Ban state-level AI regulation for 10 years. This from the people who claim everything should go back to the state to regulate, now want to take the very same regulation away. It repeals clean energy programs like the solar panels, or if you want to get panels on your house and you got tax breaks. People that want to buy electric cars, and that's where the future is. That has been repealed. It diverts funding from public schools. Gee, as if we're not having enough trouble at the state level getting funding for our public schools. It decreases federal regulation like OSHA and the EPA. Workers, especially our skilled labor, are not going to have the safety provisions they once had with OSHA. The EPA, think of dirty water runoff, streams, our fresh air. It allows President Donald Trump to censor nonprofits. If that doesn't send a chill down your spine, I don't know what will. It blocks access to Planned Parenthood. Just last year, the state of Ohio codified that women had a right to their own reproductive health. This will keep you from getting access to having control over your own reproductive health. It will take $50 billion from the federal workforce. It removes taxes on gun silencers. Now, if that makes any sense to anybody, please drop it in the comments, because I don't know why any individual needs a gun silencer. As if gun safety in our schools wasn't problematic enough, now we are going to let them have silencers and pay no taxes on it? Really? It also says the judiciary cannot prosecute the executive branch for breaking the law. So you know how the judiciary has told you cannot send people away to another nation without due process. Well, now they're saying you can't go after the executive branch for thumbing their nose up at the judiciary. And it specifically targets blue states, so states, which we don't have to worry about Ohio, that voted Democratic will be targeted the most with these new laws. One vote. So what I would like you to do is I'm going to post at the end of this. Senator John Husted was appointed by Mike DeWine. He has to run for re-election next year. So, well, not re-election, his first election. This bill now goes to the Senate. We need to tell John Husted, no, we don't want this in Ohio. Then I want you to contact Dave Taylor and tell him, don't bother pulling your petitions next year because we're going to vote you out if you do. Shane Wilkins, Senate District 17 for Ohio, and Jason Stevens, our Ohio rep for the 93rd District, are also both going to be on the ballot next year. They need to know they represent their constituents, not special interests. Thank you, and God bless. Bye-bye.